Good morning and welcome to Art Schools Network's No More webinar series. We, Art Schools Network, are members that represent leaders, schools, organizations from around the world. We share our experiences and expertise in such areas as planning, facilities, finance, fundraising, admissions, recruitment, teacher training, arts integration, community and parent relations, evaluations. The list goes on, and today I'm happy to introduce to you one of our first webinars of this spring series, Curtain, Lights, Sound with HSPVA. You'll get to talk with arts faculty from Houston High School for the Performing and Visual Arts. This school is the second oldest public performing arts high school in the United States. It coined the phrase actually magnet school. The academic and artistic success of its students is amazing and impressive. I actually got to visit this school recently in January. Our board of directors held a meeting there, and we were able to walk the sacred spaces and meet the students and see the high caliber product that they produce there. We're going to have some key takeaways for you today. You're going to learn from these faculty members how to enhance your art curriculum, the intricacies of implementing 21st century learning skills through the arts and academics, and the rigor and intensity of a well-executed, finely tuned professional, pre-professional, and professional fine arts curriculum in a public school setting. I know that we had over 30 folks register before I logged in earlier, so welcome to our members and friends across the United States, UK, Canada. I'm going to now introduce to you an esteemed colleague of mine, Dr. Scott Allen, and board member who is the principal of HSPVA.
Thank you, Christy. I'm lucky enough to have been the principal of the High School for the Performing and Visual Arts, or HSPVA as we call it, since 2009. Just a little background, HSPVA evolved in 1971 from a realization that young gifted artists needed highly specialized and rigorous training in the arts to be prepared for intense competition that they would meet in colleges, conservatories, and the professional arts world. HSPVA is fully accredited, and we offer the same academic curriculum and graduation requirements as all Houston Independent School District high schools. The major difference in the academic program is that we offer the added ingredient of correlating the arts with the academics rather than treating either as an isolated discipline. And our students spend 3 hours each day focused on the study in one of the art disciplines, with the balance of the day being spent in their academics. Our art areas include creative writing, dance, music, which is vocal and instrumental, theater, and the visual arts. And all of our students must audition for placement here at HSPVA. We usually have about 2,000 auditions for about 200 spaces each year. And we're glad you're joining us for Curtains, Light, Sound HSPVA today. The Art Schools Network is an amazing organization, and I think the greatest benefit for me as a member is the exchange of information and ideas among member schools, and so we're excited to be sharing some of our best practices this morning. I'm joined this morning by our dance chair, Luann Carter, our theater chair, Cindy Ogden, and our vocal director, Dr. Richard Robbins. And what's going to happen this morning is each one is going to present about 6 minutes about his or her department, and then we'll have hopefully some time for questions and answers. And I know that Christy is taking questions and comments as we go, so we look forward to that time together. You're going to hear an overview of each of the 3 departments we're spotlighting, and I hope that you're able to see the importance of relationships across our campus. I feel like our art and academic teachers work together to help students succeed in all areas, and I think you'll also notice how our art teachers work across their disciplines, and this creates a culture of trust and respect that really explains the success that our students have seen in our school's 41 years of existence. So enough from me. Let's talk about some best practices and things that are happening every day here in Houston, Texas at HSPVA. We're going to begin with Luann Carter, who is chair of the dance department.
Good morning. The HSPVA dance program consists of 95 to 100 dance majors, and we have 2 full-time faculty members and 10 adjunct faculty members. When HSPVA began in 1971, our founders found it crucial that the infusion of the professional artist was essential to implement into our school curriculum with adjunct faculty. The emphasis of our program is in ballet and modern dance, which follows the repertory and audition criteria of major universities, conservatories, as well as professional ballet and modern dance companies. Slide 1, please. Dance curriculum. As you can see in this slide, how we break down our ballet and modern dance classes. All dancers have a minimum of 3 ballet and modern dance classes per week. Our lower level or beginning level students have more than 3 ballet classes a week. It's our goal to establish sound technical training in all our students. All students have point class once a week, and all ballet and point classes are taught by our adjunct faculty members. In the photo, you will see in the background a photographer. In the beginning years of HSPVA, we created a dance photo course. This 5-week intensive course is taught by one of our adjunct faculty members who's also a professional photographer. This course, along with dance production, has proven to be a wonderful outlet for students who are not serious about pursuing a career in dance and whose interest is piqued in other aspects of the performing world. Slide 2, please. All dance majors have modern dance class, a minimum of 3 days a week. We teach many different forms of modern dance technique, for we want our students to be versatile and to be able to sight read all movement quickly and efficiently. Next slide, please. Dance placement classes are held at the beginning of each semester. Dancers are placed by technical skill level rather than age. Our advanced dancers, which usually are our juniors and seniors, are featured in 2 faculty choreographed concerts a year. And these concerts always feature 2 ballet works, several modern dance works, and jazz choreography. Next slide, please. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the days students are exposed to additional dance classes, as you can see on the slide. This varies by 6 weeks. Each year, students have dance composition for a semester, and dance nutrition and survey is for our new students, while senior projects is designed for our seniors to have an opportunity to choreograph a solo on themselves as well as a group choreographed work that will be filmed and adjudicated. This photo is from a musical theater work entitled Bye Bye Blackbird, and it is original choreography by Bob Fosse, and it was restaged by one of our graduates, Parker Essie. Next slide, please. This slide is in reference to collaboration. When possible, we collaborate with our other art areas. On many occasions, our faculty choreographers work with live accompaniment with students from our instrumental and vocal music departments. For example, a string quartet or octet or a choral work such as Ceremony of Carols or Carmina Burana. And we frequently work with our outstanding jazz program. This particular slide is a collaboration we had with the art department and the music department, and it was for the International Sculpture Symposium. The symposium that year was being held in Houston, and it was honoring sculptor Mark DeSuvero. So the Visual Arts Department, the Music Department, and the Dance Department worked together to create a collaborative work, and this sculpture did move and shake in many different ways. And it was performed in an outside venue in Houston, and it was extremely successful. It took a great deal of work and organization, but the students benefited tremendously. Next slide, please. So what do we think are our best practices in the dance department? Well, we feel our students receive strong and versatile technical training. Second, we feel that our student outreach program for the school for prospective students is important, so we offer numerous workshops and summer camps. Third, we feel another best practice is performing. Our advanced level students perform a minimum of 30 times throughout the year. Next slide, please. Also, we feel we make the dance experience realistic by hosting numerous master classes, bringing in a minimum of 6 guest choreographers during the year, whose works are featured on faculty choreographed concerts. In addition, we hold several one-week dance intense residencies during the year, and they're taught by professional dancers from various professional dance companies. The full-time faculty holds individual re-auditions, including a one-on-one personal evaluation with each dancer at the end of the spring semester. And lastly, we strive to develop the student holistically, developing critical thinking skills for the 21st century and preparing them for a professional world. We found that in our 41-year history, about a third of our dance graduates go on and major in dance in a university or conservatory and pursue a professional dance degree, while the other graduates pursue academic degrees and become great art patrons, which we all need. Next slide, please. We are fortunate in Houston to have so many professional arts organizations. that HSPVA students have the opportunity to collaborate with on the outside. This particular photo shows our dancers in their young audience cast. Our department is fortunate in that we are part of the National Young Audiences program, and we have a 45-minute show that we take into elementary schools, educating young students about the history of dance and traditional dance forms. This show has been extremely beneficial learning tool for our dancers in learning how to manage large groups of elementary age students, as well as exposing those young students to the art of dance. So this slide shows a few of the professional organizations in Houston that HSPVA students are fortunate to collaborate with, such as the Symphony, the Opera, and the Alley Theater. Thank you so much, and now I would like to introduce the chair of our Theater Arts Department, Mrs. Cindy Ogden.
Hello, welcome to Onstage Productions at HSPVA Theater. We have approximately 140 theater students each year, 3 full-time faculty members, 2 part-time teachers, and 6 to 8 consultants who come from our professional theater world here in Houston. These consultants are usually guest directors and teach master classes, while our other 5 faculty members are our core faculty teachers. We divide our day into 2 3-hour blocks. We have level 1 and 2 students in the morning for 3 hours, and those are our 9th and 10th graders. And in the afternoon, we have our 11th and 12th graders, our level 3 and 4 students. All students also serve a minimum of 6 weeks on after-school productions rehearsals. Next slide, please. Somewhere in there. We have 2 main stage theater department productions each year, 1 each semester, along with 6 studio productions per year. Those are 3 per semester. Those 8 productions are limited to our juniors and seniors only. And then we have 8 showcase productions per year that allow us to showcase our level 1 students also. Next slide, please.
Oops.
One of our best practices, we believe, is that we collaborate as a faculty and with our students also at the end of each year, and we question what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And some of the questions we ask ourselves at the end of each year is which path will we continue to take to provide a rich, well-rounded theater education for our students? How will we streamline our resources to best serve our students? And how do we keep our curriculum current? How do we honor our history while staying relevant in this ever-changing world? In answer to those questions, next slide, please. We have developed a 4-year curriculum, a 4-year plan of our theater curriculum. The first 2 years are foundation courses, and you can see that these foundation courses include acting, design theory, production, and repertory and portfolio development for all students. All students, no matter what their focus is when they first come to PVA, must have all of these foundation courses. At the end of the second year, we allow them to choose an area of focus. They can choose to focus on musical theater, acting, or design and technology. All classes place an emphasis on technique and craft and developing their art form honestly. Next slide, please. In this slide, you're going to see a photograph of how we apply all of the things they've learned in the foundation courses. In levels 3 and 4, that is what it's about. Our 3 and 4 classes become labs of application from the foundation that they've received in the first 2 years. We spend most of the year in production, either on our showcase productions or our main stage productions. We also include classes that are for audition and repertory presentation for college auditions, and we also include playwriting and some directing concepts in levels 3 and 4. Here it is. Another way that another of our best practices is that we don't limit our performances and productions just to our students within our theater department. We also work outside of our theater department and collaborate with the other performing arts groups in our school and in our community. And one way we do this, we work with the dance department and the music departments, both vocal and instrumental, and the art department on many occasions, is each year we produce our all-school musical. We believe that Ruth Denny she's the founder of HSPVA, and she really wanted to bring students from all over Houston to come to HSPVA to explore the passion they have for their arts. And this is one way we honor that legacy, is to continue the all-school musical, where students from all art forms get to come together and spend 6 to 8 weeks of their own time after school working on this production. This is an example of one of them. We did Cats a few years ago. Another way we collaborate is we work with our Black History production each year in February, that we support that production. And we couldn't do any of these productions without one of our best practices here at HSPVA, and that's our facilities manager. We believe that he is a unique, wonderful gift that Dr. Allen has given to our school, and he's kind of the glue that connects all of these major performing events across the school, and he also makes major connections with us in our professional community. Our facilities manager, Mark Duncan, has great knowledge about lighting, sound design, set design. He works with all of our performing arts groups in setting up their events. We wouldn't be able to function in our building without him. And another way we collaborate is we work with our creative writing program and the Alley Theater. Our creative writing program and the Alley Theater, we come together with them. This is our first year to do this. We came together with them to explore a playwriting curriculum, and all of our students submitted a 10-minute play to the Alley Theater for their Hype Summer program, and 3 of those plays were chosen to go on to that program this summer. So we enjoy our collaboration within the school and without. Next slide, please. We believe that theater is a culminating communal event that embraces all other art forms, and therefore we really try to make sure each theater department graduate is trained in all aspects of theater. They are well-rounded. They're able to compete in the professional world. They are team players who can collaborate and yet have an individual perspective with a worldview that's a little bit larger than themselves. We believe that as long as we strongly question our approaches and our expectations, our process will always have a strong product. The mission of our department is to give the theater art student a diverse foundation of rigorous theatrical training while nurturing the artistic spirit, which will ultimately allow the student to thrive in a competitive and professional world. Thank you, and I would like to now introduce Mr. Richard Robbins.
Thank you, Cindy. Hello, webinar attendees. I'm Richard Robbins, and I'm a member of the music faculty here at HSPVA. We're certainly proud of the work our music students are able to accomplish, and it's my pleasure to talk a little bit about our department to you. A good teacher friend of mine once told me that good teachers borrow, but great teachers steal. I'm certainly thankful for all the ideas I've stolen from my colleagues here and elsewhere, and I hope you'll find a little something in this presentation you could take away with you. A little about the structure of our department. Our music department comprises about 260 music students. 110 of these are enrolled in our vocal music program, solo and choral singing, mainly classical repertoire with some musical theater and pop vocal coaching as a part of their curriculum. We have about 150 students enrolled in instrumental music programs of some sort. That would be strings, winds, brass, harp, percussion, jazz, piano, and mariachi. To teach all of those courses, we have 8 full-time teachers in different instrumental and vocal areas, 1 part-time, and about 5 adjunct faculty throughout the course of the year. One of the great things about living in a city as diverse as Houston is our ability to have a thriving mariachi program, and we certainly think that it's important to find ways to honor the cultural traditions of our state within the context of a music curriculum geared towards preparing students ultimately for college and conservatory level music study. All of our students are required to play or sing in multiple ensembles. A singer, for example, is enrolled in at least 2 choral classes per year, large ensemble in addition to either a gender-specific ensemble or a small ensemble, pop, early music, and others. Our orchestra musicians play in the large symphony orchestra in addition to having the opportunity to play in chamber ensembles and string quartets. We feel it's important to provide our players and singers multiple opportunities to explore as many musical styles as possible. And as we go to the next slide, you'll see that in addition to these ensemble opportunities, we provide a number of techniques classes and theory classes. So there will be a kind of a scary-looking chart that appears in a moment. Don't be frightened, but as you can see from our rather complex music schedule, it's not easy to fit all of this into our day, but it's well worth the effort. The music department operates within the same 9-period modified block as the academic teachers, and that's probably coming up here in just a moment. There are a few reasons for this. The music department, in the music department, our performance schedule tends to operate concert to concert as opposed to production like my colleagues, because different concerts involve different ensembles. And because we have limited rehearsal space, it makes sense for us to fine-tune our schedule to suit our ensembles. Our schedule is similar to the sort of schedule that one will find in a university setting with a mixture of academic and performance-based music classes. Since all of our students are enrolled in at least one specific techniques class in a given year, our students are always focused on proper technique, which positively impacts our ensembles. Our students also take theory classes as a part of a 4-year spiral theory and music history curriculum that ends up in either AP theory or in one of our advanced theory electives like form and analysis. My experience as a university teacher taught me that it's not performance ability that keeps students from succeeding as collegiate-level musicians. It's theory and sight singing. To that end, we offer class piano conducting, sight singing, ear training, modern music, and composition classes to our students. Many of our students were able to test out of their first year or two of music theory at the college level, and about 30 or 40% of our music majors here at HSPVA try to start a music major as college musicians. So we go to the next slide. You will see some collaborative opportunities for our staff. Our music faculty really gets along. We love for our music students to help each other out and to play and sing in ensembles outside of their instrument or voice area, and we like to feature our music students in collaborative concerts. All of our music ensembles participate in a fundraising event at the beginning of the year, our annual Spaghetti Supper. This event brings in a huge number of community members and serves to advertise all of our music ensembles at the beginning of the year. As we go to the next slide, you'll see some more of those opportunities. Our piano department trains young students to accompany ensembles and vocal students. Our choir and orchestra often collaborates on major performances, including works like Beethoven's Ninth Symphony and Howard Hanson's Song of Democracy. There's a picture of them coming up performing the Song of Democracy. And instrumentalists from all departments are encouraged to enroll in the choir to improve their tuning and sight reading ability. We can go on to the next slide. I particularly enjoy the fact that most of the mariachi ensemble, for instance, has been able to enroll in my men's choir. We've had multiple performances in which mariachi musicians accompany our choral groups. The goal in all of this is to create lifelong musicians, as you see on the next slide, people who love music, not only to succeed in college, but also to advocate for the arts in our community and to participate in music for the rest of their lives. Now, just a few words about how the arts at our school fits into our academic structure. We're very proud of the positive relationship that exists between our arts and academic faculty. I know this can be a point of tension in some arts schools. I think this works on our campus for several reasons. Many, if not most, of our teaching faculty and administration has some background in the arts, either through having studied it or through active participation, or just by being active supporters and lovers of the arts in our community. Our academic faculty understands the demands of the arts on our students and also appreciates that the learning style of a young artist might be different than what one might find in a comprehensive high school population. This results in creative class projects and a lot of collaboration amongst arts and academic faculty. As a result of this, the willingness of the academic faculty to honor the specific needs of our schedule allows us to operate in the music department on a 9-period modified block, but in our theater and dance departments on 3-hour blocks. We couldn't do all of that if we had to comport all of our departments into a one-size-fits-all schedule. Another factor that helps our faculty get along, I think we've got another slide about this next, is our small student body. We get to know every student on campus, and they get to know us. If a student is in trouble in an academic class, we get emails about them, and vice versa. We want our students to succeed and graduate. Our faculty also respects one another's expertise. We have faculty socials and events to help build camaraderie, but we also know that we have a highly qualified academic and arts faculty. English teachers approach me regularly about music that might fit certain style periods of literature, and math teachers have asked about the use of math in analyzing the fugues of Bach. Similarly, when a vocal student has a question about a poem, they know they can find willing help from the English department. We really work together. Well, that about wraps up my portion of the presentation. Thanks, and I do hope that you found something that you can steal.
Thanks, Richard. I also want to thank Luann and Cindy for sharing about the magic that you guys make in your departments, because it's pretty special here at HSPVA. I also wanted to take a minute to thank our technology officer at HSPVA, Dorothy Patel. She's the one who helped us with our PowerPoint today, so thanks, Dorothy. Christy, you have some questions for us?
Yeah, thank you. We had several questions, and it was timely. You addressed them kind of right after they were sent in. So Paul Shapiro from Seattle School of the Arts is asking about your transfer of arts to academics, as well as some of the siloing questions that you addressed earlier. Could you talk a little concretely about, maybe from a different person's perspective than Richard's, about how you integrate with other subject areas?
I'll take that one, and you know, people ask all the time if we have a special curriculum or if we have something that integrates the arts into the academics, Paul. And really what we've found is the fact that our kids are so passionate about the arts, they're the ones who bring that into the classroom. And I think that the fact that our academic teachers attend productions and performances and concerts and things, that ties the teacher to the kid. And so it sort of just happens very naturally. When I'm in a classroom, an English classroom, there's an arts focus just because that's what the kids bring to the classroom. And so that's how I would say, and I don't know if the art teachers would have something to add.
I know that Ms. Ballard in our junior level English class has the students write a pretty large research paper, and they're asked to choose something within their art area that also pertains to a specific style period. So if you're dealing with a instrumental music major, and they might be asked to write something dealing with literature from the Romantic era, they then have to tie that specific style period in literature to something that was happening musically in the period, and also from the country in which they happen to be studying. The kids really enjoy that.
And I think you would find that a lot of the academic teachers do the projects that, like what Richard just mentioned. But again, that's yeah.
And also, if I may add, we have collaborated with many of academic teachers in the theater department. For example, we had an English teacher, head of the English department, performed in one of our plays last year. He took a small role, and so that was really wonderful for the students to see him come in and see him in a different light and be a part of the rehearsal process. And then also this year when we were doing Rent, we invited faculty members to come and talk to us about the AIDS crisis and how it came about during the 80s and 90s. And they helped our students gain a historical perspective of those events that led to that crisis. So we think that's really exciting that they're always available for us that way.
That's wonderful. There's a follow-up question that has to do with time and preparation, and I'm going to paraphrase terribly for James Mono and Joseph Itkor. Thank you, gentlemen, for your questions. They want to know, how do the kids come to you prepared, and how much time in the day is dedicated? And I know you showed the schedule earlier, and that will be available to everyone on our website. But could you address those two things? Preparation of students as they come to you, and then the flow of your day.
It might be a little different per the departments. Does someone want to take that first?
I'll go back to the schedule.
Well, I will say in dance, preparation can sometimes be a problem as far as when we level classes the first couple of weeks of school. Sometimes we do accept some kiddos that are not as strong and as efficient in ballet or modern dance, so then we also have a course in another studio, or somewhat of a remedial course to help those students get some individual attention. The school day is from 7:45 to 3:35 daily, with a 40-minute lunch where students can also meet for tutoring and for clubs.
The schedule that's up here for the music department, the theater and dance both operate in big blocks, and we integrate our classes throughout the school day, which is similar to what you'd find at a music school in a college. Some students come in with great preparation, and others really need some work on fundamentals. And in the music department, a lot of the first year is making sure that all of those basic fundamentals of music theory and all of that are set so that they can really succeed as they go into their advanced ensembles. As you can see from the music schedule, it's very it is fast and furious, and there's a lot going on in any given class period. So it takes some time to make that schedule work, and also to make it work with what the students need academically. We try to accommodate their schedule so that the students can have the English classes that they need within the context of what they're required to do in the music department.
There's a follow-up question to that. Thank you, Richard. And you almost touched on another question that was asked. The follow-up question is, how does the music department approach recitals? And the flip side of an earlier part of the question was, are there state tests that interfere with the work of their majors?
Oh my!
This is Texas. As far as music recitals are concerned, all of our students are basically preparing for a large senior recital or senior project. So throughout the course of the year, they certainly have large ensemble concerts that they do within their jazz combo or within their symphony orchestra, their choirs. Because all of our students, as I mentioned, are taking a spiral curriculum in theory and also in their techniques classes, they have many recitals within those techniques classes. We just had a junior level voice recital yesterday. It was all English art songs. We present those during the school day and open those up to the parents. But their senior project recital is a larger thing for the musicians. Those are generally one or two students for an afternoon or evening recital. They'll each do 25 minutes of music on their own, maximum, usually for the instrumentalists, and for the vocalists, it's usually 15 to 20 minutes per singer that they've put together. Some of the instrumental ensembles or the soloists can go longer. And yeah, everyone is working towards a final senior music recital of some sort.
And I know, Christy, we're about out of time, but every art area, the seniors have some sort of senior performance or recital or exhibit. So that's kind of the culminating project before they graduate. But I would say I'm sure that people have a lot of other questions, and I think that you're making our emails available. So we are certainly willing to email, get back to you guys if you have more questions, or come visit. We'll share it with you in person.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone. I think that the audience, just by the nature of the questions, and they just keep coming, there's a lot more to learn from you guys, and there's a lot of exchanges that want to happen. So I'll make sure that your email addresses are available. And I want to thank everyone today for taking time out of your very busy day at school to participate in this webinar. We only are as good as our collective, and that's because of you. So if you're not a member, we hope you'll join and contribute to our collective learning. And if you are, we thank you for your continued support. And we hope that everyone will be joining us in New York City this fall for our annual conference, where we'll look at some more fantastic members up close, in situ. And again, it's because of you that we are as strong as we are. I hope everyone has a great day. We're signing off. Goodbye.